Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live, and we are down to just one more week remaining in the NFL regular season, and there is still a lot that can occur. With the playoff picture, division winners, teams getting eliminated. So definitely we'll have our eyes wide open. Let's go over some of the scenarios. First, let's look at this. This is ESPN, so uses FPI to give each team's playoff chances with 1 week remaining. So in the NFC, the 49ers, Cowboys, Lions, Eagles, and Rams have clinched. The Rams clinched after they won, and the Seahawks lost yesterday. So it's 5 of 7 teams. Gives the Buccaneers a 70.2% chance to get in via winning the NFC South, and the Green Bay Packers a 61.4% chance fresh off their Sunday night victory over the Vikings. Three other teams with a chance: Seahawks 29.3%, Saints 23.2%, and Falcons 12.9%. Falcons would need to win their division. Saints actually have a wild card possibility. Then in the AFC, we got 4 teams that clinched: the Ravens, Chiefs, Browns, and Dolphins. Ravens are in the first seed, Chiefs in the third seed, Browns in the 5 seed. So this says its current playoff picture, but that's incorrect because the Dolphins right now are still the 2 seed. They're a game up on the Bills with a winner-take-all division game. So I guess that's projecting the Bills are going to win, but that hasn't happened yet. And then seed the Jaguars, 80.7% chance of making the playoffs, 65.6% chance of division, so still a chance at a wild card if they lose. And the Colts, 53.4% chance of making the playoffs. Then we see the Texans, 46.7% chance, Steelers, 24.9%. Bengals have been eliminated. So Bills 94.4%. They've been playing awesome, but I think that's too high, and I'm going to go over why in a second. So this is Fox Sports NFL playoff scenarios. Who's in, who's not. Tiebreakers after Week 17 games. Shout out to Jadakiss. AFC division leaders. So West, KC has clinched division. Miami has clinched a playoff berth, but the winner take all for the AFC East in Miami. I'm not going to predict in this video because I'm making my weekly picks against the spread in a couple days, but what a huge game. Winner will be the number 2 seed in the AFC. Now, in the AFC South, we have Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and Houston tied at 9 and 7. So Jaguars clinch if they beat the Titans, but if they lose, the winner of Colts Texans will win the division, and that game is taking place on Saturday. Baltimore has clinched the division in the AFC North. Not just that, the number 1 seed. Cleveland has already clinched as a wild card. Buffalo currently the second wild card at 10 and 6. So the Bills can win their division if they defeat the Dolphins next week. Buffalo can still make the playoffs as a wild card participant with losses against the Dolphins next week if either the Steelers or Jaguars lose as well. Now, as I mentioned, ESPN has them basically in at 94.4%. That is assuming that probably that the Ravens would beat the Steelers because, I mean, they look like the best team in football. But with the Ravens having sewn up the number 1 seed, they're not going to be playing a lot of their star players in all likelihood, giving the Steelers a much greater chance of winning. And the Jaguars, no, it's not certain whether Trevor Lawrence is going to play, but will definitely be the favorites against the Titans. So if the Bills do not beat the Dolphins, they should be sweating. That Steelers game is actually on Saturday as well against the Ravens. Indianapolis currently in third wild card spot. Colts can still win their division, but they would need the Jaguars to lose. Colts currently ahead of the Texans due to owning the head-to-head result. Ahead of the Steelers due to also owning the head-to-head against them. So they win, they are in. Colts win and they are in. Houston, Pittsburgh, each in the hunt, mathematically still in play for a wild card. Texans are ahead of the Steelers due to owning the head-to-head against them. So same thing, Texans win and they are in, but the Steelers will make the wild card if they win and the Dolphins win next week, or if they win and the Titans win. So, um, a lot. Steelers have some hope. Again, much easier game against Baltimore now that they've clinched the number one seed. Dolphins, big game against the Bills in Miami. That's going to be huge. But Bills did beat them quite handily in Buffalo, but anyone that knows geography knows it's a much different game in Miami. And the Titans win. That's going to be hard playing against the Jaguars. Denver, well, that mentions the teams that have been eliminated. AFC number one seed, Baltimore's clinched. NFC West, San Fran clinched the division. I did a video a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ago, about how the NFC East hasn't had a repeat winner in like 2 decades. Well, after Dallas lost to Buffalo and then Miami, it looked like Philly was going to sew it up. They had Arizona this week, Giants this upcoming week. They lost to the Cardinals. Now Dallas is currently ahead of Philadelphia. If both teams win next week, Dallas will clinch the division. Unreal. But NFC South, Tampa Bay and New Orleans both 8-8. Buccaneers clinch the division next week with a win. Buccaneers lose and the Saints win next week. The Saints will win the division. Now, I'm pretty sure that the Falcons also have a chance if the Buccaneers lose to the Carolina Panthers. Ouch. 2-14. And the Falcons beat the Saints. I'm pretty sure the Falcons win the division. So they still have hope. 3 teams alive for the NFC South. But again, Tampa Bay's playing Carolina. NFC North, Detroit clinched the division. Phillies clinched a playoff berth. They have a chance to win the NFC East if they beat the Giants and Dallas loses. Rams clinched a playoff berth with the Seahawks lost to the Steelers. Green Bay is currently third wild card, clinch a playoff berth if it wins next week. Seattle, New Orleans, Minnesota, and Atlanta still in the hunt. Seattle ahead of New Orleans based on conference record. Minnesota ahead of Atlanta due to owning the head-to-head. San Fran has clinched the number one overall seed. So, again, a lot going on in Week 18 action. It didn't mention who some of the teams play. So, the Cowboys are at the Commanders. So, should be heavy favorites. I know they're 3-5 on the road, but Commanders really haven't been competitive in like 2 months. The Packers are playing the Bears. I did a video on Justin Fields yesterday. Bears have been playing much better of late. Game is in Green Bay, though. Green Bay wins, and they are in. But pretty much every game has some type of playoff implications in it. It's going to be a fun final week of this season. Who do you think gets in these playoff spots that have not been clinched? Who wins the AFC East? What a big game. And that is the Sunday night game. The NFL announced their schedule for Week 18. That is our Sunday night football game. No Monday night football. No Thursday night football. Bills, Dolphins ends the regular season. Again, 2 Saturday games, which will be on ESPN and ABC. 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Steelers at Ravens. Again, Ravens playing for nothing. Steelers still have playoff hopes. And 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, Texans at Colts. Jaguars lose. The winner of that will win the AFC South. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.